Hello everyone. In today's session, I'm going to discuss very important give reasons from the poem Dover Beach written by Matthew Arnold, strictly in accordance with the latest updated ISC 2023 syllabus. Question pattern. Do check the pinned comment section because we have a lot of important stuff for you so that you can prepare really well. Now let's come back to today's topic, give reasons. You will have to write a single reason in your own words. So question number 1. The poet in Dover Beach calls his beloved to come to the window because. What is the specific reason? Let's read it. Because he wants her to watch the beauty of the calm, quiet sea and also enjoy the fragrance of the soft and gentle night air. So this is the specific reason. Come to the window, sweet is the night air. This is the line quoted from the poem. You will write the reason as briefly as possible, incorporating all important key elements. Let's read question number 2 now. The poet in Dover Beach wants his beloved to listen to the sound of the continuous advancing and receding waves because he says, listen, you hear the grating roar? So again, what is the reason? The reason is because he also hears the sound of the waves repeatedly lapping the shore and flinging the tiny pebbles, conveying a note of eternal sadness. This is the most important point here. A note of eternal sadness. The dominant mood of the poem, the dominant tone of the poem is melancholy and despair. Do prepare a long answer. What is the dominant mood of the poem? And that is melancholy and despair. We have easy explanation videos, question answer sessions already uploaded. Again, check the pinned comment section for all relevant links. Question 3 now. The poet in Dover Beach hears an eternal note of sadness. The most important thing, eternal note of sadness as he stands on the Dover Beach because he, in a sober, pessimistic, gloomy state of mind due to the loss of faith in the Victorian age, hears his own melancholy in the slow musical cadence produced by the incoming and recession of waves. What are the important words and expressions here? You need to mention that the poet is in a sober, pessimistic and gloomy state of mind. Again, the dominant mood, it is melancholy. He is filled with pessimism due to the loss of faith. Without this expression, answers of Dover Beach are going to remain incomplete. So you need to understand that this poem deals with the theme of loss of faith and that too in the Victorian age, the context. What are the features of the Victorian age? Conflict between religion and science, doubt, despair, anxiety, moral bankruptcy, purposelessness. Use these words. Don't worry, I'm going to discuss them one by one in these reasons. He hears his own melancholy. Again, this term is important. In the slow musical cadence produced by the incoming and recession of waves. The poem Dover Beach opens with the peace and tranquility of a calm moonlit sea, yet the light that gleams and is gone and the glimmering of the cliffs is significant because the symbolism, the imagery used in the poem, both these aspects are important. Go through them and prepare a long answer. What is the symbolism in Dover Beach? Coming back to this particular question, what is the significance of the light that gleams and is gone and the glimmering of the cliffs? Because they seem to foretell, they seem to foreshadow that the peace and calm is unsteady and flickering, not strong and steady. And this foreshadows, very important, chaos, uncertainty in society with man's loss of faith in God. The context, the social context, that is Victorian age. Learn the features of the Victorian age in order to understand Dover Beach better. These are all important, seem to foretell. Peace and calm is unsteady and flickering. They are not strong and steady. And this foreshadows the chaos, the uncertainty in society with man's loss of faith in religion, with man's loss of faith in God. Watch our easy explanation video to understand this poem, because this poem is really complex but very interesting. Question 5 now. The sound that comes from the tiny gravel that the waves take with them when they recede and then toss onto the beach when they return is grating, the grating roar, and harsh because. The poem evokes at the very beginning tenderness, stability, serenity, calmness, but soon the poet hears the grating roar, the harsh roar of the incoming, advancing and retreating waves because this symbolically reflects the clash between religious beliefs and the loss of faith, doubt, disbelief in the Victorian age. And the poet, filled with melancholy, is aware of this chaos. Arnold's skepticism, conflict between religion and science, man's diminishing faith in God. And what is the context? The Victorian age. As a result of this, Matthew Arnold is filled with melancholy and he is aware of this chaos and he is able to hear the grating and harsh roar of a future that is uncertain. Question number 6 now. The poet alludes that Sophocles must have experienced the same melancholy feeling when he stood on the shore of the Aegean Sea, because we all know that Sophocles is a Greek tragedian. Sophocles also heard the same grating roar of human misery in the past, and today Matthew Arnold is able to hear that same somber grating roar. Why? Because Matthew Arnold is hoping to bring to the reader's attention the universal experience of human misery. Very, very important. Universal experience of human misery that all throughout time we have lived with. Since time immemorial, man has lived with this experience of human misery, highlighting his own melancholy and pessimism. Sophocles used to write about the melancholic situation of human beings. In his plays we find pessimism, and in Dover Beach also Matthew Arnold gives expression to his melancholy and pessimism due to the condition of man during the Victorian age. Now, the sea of faith, very symbolic, very important. The sea of faith was once at the full and encircled the world like a beautiful curled girdle, because men, before the onset of the Victorian age, before the advent, ADVENT, before the advent of the Victorian age, which is characterized by skepticism. Now, what is skepticism? Skepticism is disbelief and doubt. Characterized by skepticism and doubt, had unquestioning faith in religion. There was no conflict between science and religion. And this religious faith was a source of their inner happiness and the sea of faith is a metaphor for it. Unfortunately, during the Victorian age, this sea of faith has receded, has gone away from the lives of men. Although the sea of faith protected mankind in the past, the poet can now hear only the sad, melancholy, withdrawing roar of the retreating waves, because the sea of faith has now retreated, receded, because the people are no longer united. There is no unity. They are not united by a common, unifying Christian faith in God. And why is it so? The same point again and again. Due to the conflict between religion and science in the Victorian age, and the retreating waves metaphorically symbolize this diminishing faith resulting in despair. Now do check this spelling. Diminishing, D-I-M-I-N-I-S-H-I-N-G. Diminishing faith resulting in despair. Question 9. All these questions are related, and all these questions are very, very important for your exam preparation. The sea of faith has retreated down the vast edges drear, and naked shingles of the world are visible. Naked shingles of the world are visible. Why? Because after the withdrawal of faith in God and moral bankruptcy, use such words, use such terms. After the withdrawal of faith in God and moral bankruptcy, men have lost all joy of life, becoming exposed to doubt, disbelief, and an insecure, unfamiliar future, and the world is a barren wasteland. Ugliness. So the beautiful landscape at the beginning of the poem is now replaced by ugliness, dreariness. World is a barren wasteland. Very quickly, question number 10 now. The poet addresses his beloved to be true to each other in the faithless world, because this is very important. A suggestion for you. The poet addresses his beloved to be true to each other in the faithless world because constant love can alone bring them peace and comfort, and this is Arnold's Stoicism, revealing that in spite of the loss of religious faith, the poet still finds consolation in true love. Love is the only anchorage in this faithless world. And this is not Arnold's skepticism, but Arnold's Stoicism. And the meaning of Stoicism you can see on the screen. 11. The poet says that the world, which appears to be a dreamland of beauty and romance, has really no joy, love, hope, peace, certainty. The last stanza. Because here he reveals his loss, sense of loss, dismay and pessimism, pessimistic outlook, very important, on the state of the world with the advent of the Victorian age. And without the anchor that religion offers, there is only darkness, doubt and chaos everywhere. The world appears to be beautiful. There is an apparent peace everywhere, but underneath it, there is darkness, doubt, chaos, ugliness everywhere. The naked shingles of the world. The world has become, in reality, a barren wasteland. The poet compares the world to a darkling plain because the world is not a beautiful place anymore. It is a darkling plain. There is darkness, and this darkness is the darkness of ignorance, of doubt, of disbelief. Because in the Victorian age, man's declining faith, diminishing faith in religion has led to moral bankruptcy, and they are not only in the dark about the purpose of their life, purposelessness, but also enveloped in the darkness of ignorance, bereft, meaning without, bereft of understanding what is right. There is purposelessness, there is chaos, anxiety everywhere. The world is compared to a battlefield. This is also important. Learn. The world is compared to a battlefield which is full of the confused noise of men and clatter of arms, because confusion all around, baffled condition of mankind, because with the decline in religious faith in the Victorian age, men are striving hard without knowing. They have no knowledge, without knowing what they are striving for, why they are fighting, what is life all about, what is the purpose of their lives. They are in the dark about the purpose of their life, and there is disharmony. This is the noise, the clatter, disharmony all around, filling the poet with pessimism. The length of the reasons will vary depending on the questions. So don't worry, some answers may be a little lengthy and some may be quite short. So keep it brief, keep it compact and to the point, and just one reason, not more than that. The last one, the world simply appears to be like a land of dreams, so various, so beautiful, so new, because simply appears, appearance versus reality. Because the reality is harsh, and what is the reality? And the poet is filled with melancholy, and the melancholic poet reveals that the faithless world, it is a faithless world, has really no joy, hope, love, peace, certainty or relief from pain, and is a vast, barren, darkling plain.